Shifu Simplicity, Venerable Ayya, and Ani Dharma and all Dharma friends, Amitofo. So today is the first day of our retreat. We get together here in the Buddha Hall, and we are all Dharma friends. So we are fortunate to have so many people around us who can guide us on the path to Buddhahood, and who are also very compassionate for us, what we are doing, and so kind to help us. Although there are so many people who are nice to us, but we might not be able to recognize them. And sometimes we complain about life, and sometimes we are happy with what we have and with the people we meet. But in general, life is full of suffering. But still, there's another aspect of life, which is full of serenity and calmness and great insight. And how can we create this aspect of life? It's by sitting meditation. So when we are in the Buddha hall, our mind resonates with the Buddha. And we can recognize that, in fact, people around us, they are all bodhisattvas. There is a Chinese saying. It says that bodhisattvas are never apart from us, but we are too deluded to recognize them. If we can meditate and reflect inward, then we can see our own master before birth. So bodhisattvas are around us, just like we are sitting here. More than 24 bodhisattvas are in the Buddhahood. All the bodhisattvas in the Buddha hall, they are so nice to us, and they help us to generate our bodhicitta, and that is our Bodhi mind. So together, we have a collective karma that we are creating. This collective karma is positive, and it also creates serenity, and it increases our compassion and kindness toward others. Bodhisattvas are never apart from us. Why? Because bodhisattvas have a great mind that want to become enlightened. Not the bodhisattvas themselves want to become enlightened, they also want to lead all other sentient beings to the shore of nirvana and to become enlightened. But exactly who is a bodhisattva and what is a bodhisattva? In general, we are familiar with the bodhisattvas like Avalokiteshvara or Guan Yin, the bodhisattva of great compassion, and Manjusri Bodhisattva, who represent great wisdom, and also Samantabhadra, who is the bodhisattva of great action, and Kshitigarbha, or Earth Door, who is the bodhisattva of great vows. So these are the bodhisattvas with supernatural powers, but we have to know that bodhisattvas are not just those celestial beings up there, high there in the sky. They have great wisdom and they have great compassion. And when people are in need and pray to the bodhisattvas, bodhisattvas come to rescue them. A lot of Buddhists when they feel hopeless or despaired, they come to pray for rescue and guidance from those compassionate bodhisattvas. And bodhisattvas, they are so compassionate. That's why they are never apart from us. They never leave us alone. They never leave us to feel lonely. And that's why we are so fortunate to have all the bodhisattvas with us. Bodhisattvas are not just someone who are by us. We have to recognize the bodhisattva within ourselves. We all have the bodhisattva nature, just like those great bodhisattvas. We know that bodhisattvas practice 6 paramitas. The paramita of generosity, morality, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom. With these 6 perfections, those great beings who aspire to liberate others and to become enlightened toward Buddhahood. So when we are practicing these 6 paramitas, we are like the bodhisattvas. So now we are sitting in the Buddha hall, in this meditation room. We are acting just like those bodhisattvas. We have the same bodhisattva virtues and bodhisattva nature that those great beings possess. But we just are too deluded to recognize our inner bodhisattva nature. So now, by sitting meditation, we are here with this serene environment and with all the positive collective karma we are creating now together. We calm our mind and we are reflecting inward to see our inherently positive and pure bodhisattva nature. When Siddhartha Gautama was sitting beneath a Bodhi tree, he was a bodhisattva. He strived to become enlightened for the sake of all other beings, not just for himself. So beneath the Bodhi tree, Gautama was a bodhisattva. And then he meditated to look at his inward, to look at his inner Buddha nature, to look at his inner bodhisattva nature. And eventually, he became a Buddha. And Siddhartha Gautama is our role model. We are all the followers of Shakyamuni Buddha, who was once the Prince Siddhartha Gautama. So we are practicing meditation. So we are acting like a bodhisattva because we are practicing the paramita of meditation. But we have to acknowledge that we are just a baby bodhisattva. We are not fully enlightened yet. It takes a long way, a long journey for us to accomplish what we aspire to achieve. But still, we have to feel confident. We have to believe in what the Buddha has taught us. We need to increase our trust in the Buddha, in the Dharma, and in the Sangha. This kind of trust is the great confidence we have in us. We have the great confidence and the deep belief in our own Buddha nature, in our own Bodhisattva nature. With this great confidence and the great diligence of paramita, then we definitely can achieve Buddhahood, and we can enjoy the serenity and the purity when we are practicing the sitting meditation. Like earlier, we said that Bodhisattvas are never apart from us because we are in all the Bodhisattvas' minds. And the Bodhisattvas are all in our mind because we are the followers of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And that's why we are surrounded by Bodhisattvas. And most importantly, our mind is the mind of great compassion. Our mind is the mind of the Bodhisattvas and of all the Buddhas from the 10 directions. So sitting here, we are practicing to have the Bodhisattva's virtues and Bodhisattva compassion. What are the compassion we need to know and to learn? That is to sit, to be nice to ourselves, to recognize our own Buddha nature, to increase our confidence in our Buddhahood. That will reveal in the future. And actually, when we are doing the sitting meditation, we are revealing the Buddhahood. We are experiencing the great Buddha nature that we have. We are manifesting as a great Bodhisattva. Again, we are not fully enlightened yet, and we still have a lot of impurity, all the worries, all the anxieties, all kinds of wants. And we are busy with a lot of daily activities. But still, we have to recognize our inner Bodhisattva. And that is our Bodhisattva nature. And by sitting meditation, we are practicing to reflect inward. And we are practicing to reveal our Buddha nature or Bodhisattva nature. How do we do that? When we are doing sitting meditation, we can adopt a meditative technique that we are used to do it. For example, when we do the breath counting, we try to be focused. We can place our attention on the tip of our nose and try to be attentive. That is to allow our Bodhisattva nature to manifest itself. So when we breathe in, we count the number 1 silently. Then we experience a very brief pause, and then we breathe out. When we breathe out, remain silent. And don't count any numbers. And when we have the second inhale, we start to count the number 2. Again, exhale silently. Breathe in again. We count the number 3 silently. Then breathe out. Breathe in again. Count number 4. Breathe out silently without counting and be aware. So we count each inhale from 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. So we can count either when we are breathing in or count the numbers when we are breathing out. But don't count both inhale and exhale. Just choose inhalation or exhalation to count the number. And the number is the anchor that we can use to have something to rely on, to help us to be focused. And that is the great support we can have when we are doing the sitting meditation. And that is the breathing and the numbers. So when we count from 1 up to 10, when we are done with one cycle, and we start all over again from number 1. So what we do by doing the breath counting is just count 1, 2, 3, up to 10. This method is very simple, but it can be very powerful if we remain attentive and if we are confident in our Buddha nature and also in our Bodhisattva nature. Then we know, just like Siddhartha Gautama, who could meditate to become a Buddha, and so do we. We can meditate and we can look at our inner world. We can create serenity and insight within us. So when we meditate, we are attentive and be aware of the thoughts that might be popping up. When we have thoughts arise, we are aware. When the thoughts go, we are aware. But don't try to be judgmental. Don't to be critical on yourself. When you have thoughts, we have to know that this is normal because we are just a baby Bodhisattva. We still have delusion. We still have a lot of wandering thoughts. We think of this and that. Think of the food I had for lunch. Think of the people I met a few days ago. Think of the things I have to do and the project I was doing and something I need to finish by the deadline. So we are overwhelmed by all these daily activities. But now, since we are in the Buddha hall, we are with all the Bodhisattvas around us, and we are revealing our inner Bodhisattva nature. So just sit quietly. Be compassionate to yourself. That means to create serenity and to create insight for yourself, to help yourself to get rid of all the delusion and illusion. So when we are sitting here and try to be calm and just focus on the numbers we are counting and focus on the breathing. But it is so natural that we create thoughts. So when we have thoughts, we know they are there. Don't intervene with your thoughts. Don't blame yourself for having all this wandering mind. When you know you have thoughts, let them come and let them go. Don't pay too much attention to your thoughts. Otherwise, you are creating more wandering thoughts, and you can never stop. Then for the entire meditation session, you are just wandering around. So then that is not a sincere sitting meditation session at all. So again, when we have thoughts, be attentive. Just try to recollect yourself and bring your attention back to the numbers you were counting. And if you mess up, then you can start all over from counting number 1 and up to 10. And when we have the thoughts, we know the thoughts are coming and going. It's just like when we are at a railway crossing. We stopped and looked and listened to make sure whether a train is coming. And when we see the railway light comes on, we know a train is approaching. When a train comes, and it will go by, and we are standing at the railroad, silently and patiently waiting for the train to go by. Likewise, when we have thoughts popping up in our mind, we are patient. We know I now have a thought. So just be focused on your inner world. You know a thought is coming. Don't intervene and don't chase after your thoughts. It's just like when we see a train passing by. We don't fix our gaze at the train going by. We don't try to tell what kind of train it is. Is it an express train or a local train or a cargo train? No. You just wait there and until the train goes by. Likewise, when we have thoughts, we know their existence and then allow the thoughts to cease by themselves. Again, don't chase after your thoughts, don't blame yourself, and don't try to analyze your thoughts. Don't try to intervene your thoughts. And don't try to suppress your mind either. Just remain focused, remain vigilant. Pay more attention to the number you are counting in. This meditation method is easy, but still it is powerful and it can create serenity. And it will bring us back to our pure Buddha mind. If we can meditate silently and sincerely, be loyal to our Bodhisattva nature, we will see our old master. Who is the old master? The master is not someone who is always in command of what you are doing at job or at home. The old master is our Buddha nature, and that is the one who is in command of itself. So when we are meditating, we are aware. And this is how we practice to be the true master of our own life, to be the true master of our inner world. If we can meditate and our life becomes brighter and brighter, we can increase more wisdom and enhance the insight we originally have, just like what all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do. So sitting here, we recognize all the Bodhisattvas are never apart from us. All the Bodhisattvas are inside our mind. And by sitting doing the sitting meditation, we are acting like a Bodhisattva. We are revealing our inner Bodhisattva. We are striving to become a Buddha, just like Siddhartha Gautama. The 19th century author, whose name is Oscar Wilde, he once said that the saint has a past and the sinner has a future. A saint is not a saint by born. When a saint was declared as someone who's like a sage, he's not always pure. He had a past. He might have done something wrong, something negative in the past. But now he has been declared as a saint. He cannot deny what he has done wrong in the past. And a sinner who has all the crime, who has made all the offenses, although looks to be impure, but the sinner has a hopeful life if he can repent and if he can make positive and good deeds. In the future, a sinner can become a saint as well. And in Buddhism, we are so ordinary. We are deluded, just like the sinner. But we can also like Siddhartha Gautama, who was deluded, who was ordinary before. But just by doing sitting meditation and by looking at his inner Bodhisattva nature and by making great vows to liberate himself and to liberate all other beings, Gautama became a Buddha. So we are a baby Bodhisattva, and we have made the same vow, just like Siddhartha Gautama. So, although we are deluded now, in the future, we will all become enlightened. Be confident in your own Bodhisattva nature, and be confident be on others' Bodhisattva nature as well. Try to sit silently and immerse yourself in the serenity and in the calmness, and be hopeful for your own Buddhahood. Let's continue to do the sitting meditation. Be attentive, be aware, be silent, and in the future, we will all become awakened.